Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. Here's going to be hopefully a repair video on this Gallagher MPE2. This is a mid to late 80s model. They made this unit from about 85, 86 all the way to about 89, 90, and that was it. They discontinued it. They made an MPE, which was a similar model in size and power, but it was a big oblong rectangular thing, about twice as tall as this thing is when you set it up like this. But a good old unit. Man, these things run for years. They weren't like super powerful. They're probably, we'll get our fancy meter out. We'll do some test on it after we get it running again and see what kind of joule rating this is on the output side. But I would say this is probably a 2 plus or minus output joule unit. So not a very stout unit. Joule wise compared to other ones, but this was very reliable. This thing's 35, 40 years old and very reliable unit. But we'll get into this in just a minute. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate that. Here's our information right there. There are links down in the description below of our websites, fencerfixer.com, and we also work on cattle skills low bars, mostly Gallagher and Tru-Test, but cattlescalerepair.com is the website. But let's take this apart. I haven't even opened it up. The note on it says possible lightning strike, so I didn't even bother plugging it in. Nothing's rolling around loose, but you never know. And this thing doesn't have a smell to it yet. See how good, I don't see any signs of things spewing out of it, off the electronics hitting the case. It's got a new capacitor in it. Tell that just by looking at it. Alright. I think the transformer has been replaced at some point because there's just from the experience of working on Gallagher stuff, the transformers have a sticker on them when they're built on the replacement part. Factory ones don't have a excuse me, snuck up on me. Don't have a sticker on them when they build them, but this has a date on it. 25th of September 1991. I don't know if this is when the board was installed or when it was built. This is when they built the board, because I think they stopped production on this model of selling it here in the States by the late 80s, early 90s, by like 89, 90. That was it. They didn't make any more. I made parts for them for a while, but they didn't make the units as a production model. Let's plug it in, see what it does. No lights on, so let's check AC power. Put this on 100. We put on AC. We're gonna, let's see. This is like these two tabs here are 120 volts, so we're not getting power to the board. So let's check the cord first. It's the back side of both fuses. Nothing. Let's plug this into a different spot, because that might, I think that outlet on that power strip's a little wore out. Oh, it's flickering. So now we're getting power. Well, some kind of power. Let's check back the board again. Should be 120 volts. Okay, so the cord and fuses are all fine. So it's not firing for some reason. Let's check the capacitor. I know it's been changed, but let's check it anyways, because the factory ones were kind of a white gray color, or from the original ones. It's a 30 microfarad. It's reading 30. So the capacitor is fine. Let's read our primary side of the transformer, which are these two wires down here. This should be 0.1 to 1 ohm. We're reading 0.2 ohm. So our primary is fine. So our issue is in the board. Now, if I can't get this board going, I've got this board here, which physically a bit smaller and it didn't have the little tabs on it to where it plugs in here. But I imagine if we put some wires on there and plug them into there, I bet we can make this board work. This is a now we would probably have to modify some stuff. We'd probably just put a bigger diode on there and pull this capacitor off. And put this one into there, right here. So, and we might have to put a bigger SCR in there, something that handles a little bit more energy. I have that capacitor firing itself. But I think we can make this board work. But we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. Alright, if we can't get this board going, let's do a little dicking around here with this board here to check a few things out. Alright, let's check these two diodes first, these little black ones up here. That's good. That's good. SCR's bad. Gotta find an SCR that'll work. Oops. All right, let's see. That's a 1200 volt or 1200 volt, 25 amp. That's more than plenty for what this thing does, but it'll handle the energy being discharged through this thing. Let me get my solder iron powered back on. It times out after a little bit if you don't use it, so it's gotta get it cranked back up. Let's figure out where this thing's hiding at. So it's those three solder joints right there. Solder iron's almost ready. Let's I know we'll tighten this up. All right. Yeah, look at the board here. Tube 86. So this is probably one of the original boards to it. There is probably a date on here. It would have been on the bottom lip there, bottom area, and it's completely gone. You can't read it. But I would guess that this board's probably original, or if it's been replaced once. So say it was like 85 to 89 that they made this thing. This version anyways. Let's desolder and pull all the crap off here, all the solder off those three solder joints. Okay, let's come on, get out of there. My bottom one's still got a little solder on it still. There's some to hold things up. The other two I think are good. One more. God dang. Just a little bit of solder. Hold that thing tight. Alright, so now you gotta position these legs where they're going to go on the way you want them to. I think that should probably work. Come on, get on there. Alright, that's on there. We might end up having to replace those light bulbs anyways as well, but let's try to get this thing pulsing and firing again. Alright, let's plug it in. Still won't fire. Resistor's good. Just change out this little device there with an exact replacement. Pressure's good. Oops. Wrong solder joint. flicking again, but see a problem. Down here, it's arcing. There's a break right there. So we need to replace this wire, but the unit's going again. So replacing those two parts brought that board back to life. So let's Dead. We got, I think, 3 of those over there. I saw them yesterday. I was over there looking. Oh, those kits. I think we got 3 of them. One's open, and I think 2 of them are still shut. Working again, but I need to fix up. Either need to replace the bulbs, or I need to bolts are no good. Let's get the put these bulbs in. I think these are blue. These bulbs are these neon bulbs. They think these 2 are going to be blue. So I'll put blue ones versus the green ones that were in there before. Which it's not a big deal, since it's just a bulb. But I think blue would be kind of a neat color to have in there versus the green one. Yeah, it is the same thing as it did before. blue lights. Getting a little over 5,000 volts peak out of it. It's about right. These things were one of the lower voltage units that Gallagher produced. They're usually between 4.5 and 5. And the peak voltage on this one was 4.8 with no load. So reading 5.1, so we're right in the ballpark. So we'll do a, I'm going to make a separate video of doing like a load tests and joules and all that stuff. I'll do a separate video on that one. I'll put a link, if I can remember, I'll put a link down below so you can, if you want to go watch that video, you can see what kind of joule this thing puts out. So it's probably a 2 joule plus or minus. But anyways, hopefully you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to. And until next time, we'll see you later on. And talk to you later.